Because it's not about how tall you are, or how many people like you, or how good your grades are, or how many three-pointers you can shoot, or whether or not people recognize you as a leader. It's about who God says you are. It's about how He made you, not what the world around you says, not even what your family says. It's why you may be different from your dad, or it may be why you're similar to your dad. But you're not a replica. You're becoming a man who God uniquely created on purpose. God has a plan for you, a plan that He thought about long before you were born. And just like a character in a video game has a specific set of skills and abilities to accomplish what the game creator designed him to do, the same is true for you. God wove you together to do what only you were created to do.
The truth is, our happiness is found in relationships.
Right.
Real relationships. The better your connections, the better your life.
That's so true, and it's why we're so excited about this Real Relationships experience.
We're eager to hand off to you practical tips and tools and strategies to make your relationships everything you want them to be.
That's right, and we'll start by helping you understand yourself in the context of relationships. We're gonna talk about that powerful force in your life, your family.
Your family was your university of relationships. We'll also get into friendship. Can you imagine life without friends?
We're gonna examine how dating impacts your life.
How do you fall in love without losing your mind? How do you make wise decisions in the midst of this often very dizzying experience? And then ultimately, we'll talk about relating to God. Relating to God without feeling phony. And that can be a challenge for some of us.
That's right, the most genuine of all relationships, and yet sometimes the most mysterious.
Who's pushing your buttons, and why are they pushing your buttons, and why do you have those buttons inside you in the first place, and how can you debutton your buttons, and how can you work with the person that's pushing your buttons? A lot of times we have interactions with people that we really do care about and want to have a better relationship with, but something, no matter what we do, breaks down, goes wrong, we can't get it straight, can't get it right, and that's what we're going to be talking about the next few weeks is who's pushing your buttons, and why are they pushing your buttons, and why do you have those buttons inside you in the first place, and how can you debutton your buttons, and how can you work with the person that's pushing your buttons?
Words don't just hurt, though. They can also help. Words can be used for good. We can encourage, we can motivate, and we can validate others with what we say. In the New Testament, the Apostle Paul talks about the power of words in his letter to the Ephesians. He commands them to let no unwholesome talk come out of your mouth. Don't use words that are unhealthy or unhelpful to the people and to the world around you. He continues and says that we should only speak what is helpful in building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. So speak what is helpful and avoid words that are hurtful. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? If only it were that easy. You see, we've all experienced that communication is complicated. You can say the right thing, but in the wrong way. You can say one thing and they hear another. And you can hurt someone by saying nothing at all.
So as we begin, I want you to know that this series is built on 3 pillars. Pillar number 1 is the standard of God's truth and His expectation for us as parents. True north for us is not what the secular culture or psychologists tell us. Our true north is the timeless Word of God. And here's the good news. The Bible has a lot to say about parenting, and it offers us a lot of help. The second pillar is practical tools and a strategy for parenting in the 21st century. We're going to move beyond principles and to be very tangible and strategic. I'll give you very specific steps and ways that you can implement as a parent. And then third, the pillar is this: grace. None of us are perfect. None of us will have it all together, and none of us are raising perfect children. You see, grace allows us to be honest and transparent about our struggles and all of our fears. And when there's that kind of environment, here's what happens. you can be real. You don't have to project or, image manage or put on a facade like you've got it together. So you can relax. This is going to be fun. We're going to learn a lot together.
We start to believe that the only way we have value is to be better than, smarter than, or prettier than someone else. And if we don't feel good about where we stand, we're tempted to put others down in order to feel better about ourselves. Or we do everything we can to become more like the person we're comparing ourselves to, instead of becoming who we were created to be. What if there were a way to stand next to another girl and not let it affect the way you see yourself? But starting today, we're gonna do this. We're gonna break the habit of comparing ourselves to others by thanking God, who created us on purpose, for a purpose.